Booking Holdings reporting earnings $23.30 adjusted, better than the estimate. Revenue came in at $3.34 billion, also higher than the consensus of $3.28 billion. That is for the fourth quarter. However, the stock is moving here on guidance. The company sees its revenue falling 3 to 7% in the first quarter. And some exclusive comments here from CEO Glenn Fogel to CNBC. He says, while in reference to coronavirus, he says, while this is certainly having an impact, the extent is hard to predict. The difference between what we saw happening 6 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and even over the last few days with new outbreaks popping up outside of Asia illustrates the uncertainty. No one can predict the trajectory, so it's not possible to predict what the overall impact will be. He says, what I can say is that we are keeping a very close eye on the updates and information from the WHO, the CDC, and other organizations. They're really working to continue to support their customers here. Guys, I think these comments just certainly highlights the fluidity of the situation. It's really hard to predict when the virus will be contained and therefore when travel will rebound here. Stock now down about 4% in extended trade. The conference call about to kick off in less than 30 minutes. I'll be on the call to get a better idea as to how bookings long-term could also be impacted ahead of that 2020 Olympics in Japan. Sarah.
Seema, thank you. I mean, Mike, travel stocks right in the eye of the storm.
And before this was a troubled area just because of, industry dynamics and things like that. The booking sites were having a hard time. Now, longer term, the stock has looked pretty precarious. It's pretty close to its lows even before this report. But longer term, there is a sense that when things like hotel vacancies start to go up, the market power does shift back sometimes to the portals as opposed to the hotel chains. But that's probably way down the road before that starts to be turned as a positive.
I mean, it'd be interesting to hear some more comments on the call, but those brief exclusive comments that Seema had weren't perhaps as bearish as you might have expected relating to coronavirus for a company that's so deeply in the eye of the storm of this, Sarah, as you mentioned, but it's still down 2.3%.
We were talking about the broader market and the sort of sensitivity around headline risk. I mean, do we know why the market turned around today? There were a few headlines going around. HHS Secretary Azar confirming a new case in the U.S. There was reports of people being investigated in Nassau County in New York.
Investigated.
Home of Josh Brown.
Observed.
Examined, yes.
Examined, I like better.
Tested. No, but this is a headline.
I'm not one of them. I feel like I got lumped in with that. I am immune. I was actually bar mitzvahed. So don't worry about me, America. Your financial advisor is fine. But yeah, no, again, I think the headlines will get worse. And then at a certain point, stocks will stop reacting negatively. And I also think it's worth pointing out, when you see a headline hit and then an immediate market reaction, it's not people, it's software. Those are algorithms. And for every algorithm that does that, there's one that's been designed to counter that move. So don't think that you need to have a response to every one of these things. Mike, you really don't.
Well, in terms of the headline, though, what is the news flow that needs to be behind us for the market to start to feel like they're comfortable again, to feel like things have peaked in Europe and the US?
I don't know if we have to get all the way to that point, but to be on the path right there. I mean, right now, I feel as if everybody universally expects some confirmation that there is transmission of this disease in the United States. If somehow we go 2 weeks and we have no reports of that, and we have a sense that the people are actually being tested, who knows if that's enough? I would rather not get occupied with exactly what the next plot points have to be. Much more about how the market is digesting all this. And look, transport's already 13% off their high. You have parts of the market that have already kind of rushed to a place that said things are going to be bad. I think the big issue is, I mean, this kind of to your point, Sarah, even if we feel like it's contained, the economic disruption that's involved in changing behaviors and making sure we don't have a lot of travel could hurt a world that did not have a big head of steam up in terms of nominal growth.